Facebook, Danielle K. Howell here, and in this quick broadcast, I just want to talk about how to show up in your online business like a boss. Woo! So the thing about it is this, right? So you start an online business and you're brand new, because I get these questions all the time. Well, Danielle, how can I make sales? How can I talk to my target audience? How can I deliver value if I'm brand new? And so what I like to say is this: show up like a boss. It doesn't matter if you're brand new. It doesn't matter if you've been at this thing for a while, because chances are, right, whatever you start to think about, you're going to bring about. And so let's say, okay, let me just give you a little bit of what I mean by that. Even when I was broke, in debt, and didn't make a sale, I knew that I was not going to be broke anymore. I knew that I was not going to be in debt anymore. And I knew that I was going to start making sales. All right, so that didn't stop me from talking about my what? What's the one thing you have to have? Vision. Vision. People follow people who have a vision for their business. So it doesn't matter if you're brand new. It doesn't matter if you have no technical skills. It doesn't matter if you've never sold anything online before. If you have a vision, you have a mission and a goal, you can sell anything, because people follow people who know where they're going. So how do you show up like a boss? You just show up. You deliver value. But Danielle, I don't even know what value is. I'm so new, I don't even know what value is. Then guess what you need to do? You need to read some books. You need to get around people who can impart some knowledge and wisdom into you. You need to start to figure things out. You need to lock arms with maybe a mentor and a coach. Because when you start to learn, and that's all online business is, that's all business is, period. It's just like a baby, thinking about a business, that's what life is. So you think about a baby, they learn to walk, they learn to talk, they learn to read. So it's a natural progression of things. And just go back to that baby. First, they learn to crawl. How do they learn to crawl? They get down and they start to move around and shuffle on the floor, right? And then next thing you know, unless they're like my son who used to scoot on his belly, they figure things out. They learn it. So this is what you want to do as an online marketer. You want to invest in your education. Because if you don't invest in your education, if you don't invest in your self-development, if you don't invest in your self-growth, then you're not going to be able to impart anything on anybody. So the number one thing that you have to do is invest in yourself. And sometimes investing in yourself doesn't even have to take a lot of money. You can go on YouTube and follow some really prolific, inspiring people like Earl Nightingale, people who will get you thinking outside the box, people who will get you thinking about entrepreneurship, people like Tony Robbins. You can find these people on YouTube, people like Brendan Burchard, people like, my mentor, Chris Record. I mean, you can follow me on YouTube. You can follow people who have gone through circumstances and who can teach you how to overcome challenges and how to keep that mindset of success. Because if you continue to say that you're new and you don't know and you don't understand and you're confused, guess what? What you think about, you bring about. So you're going to continue with those same thoughts. So what you want to start doing is start empowering yourself with empowering thoughts. Tell yourself that you are figuring things out. I am moving towards success. I do understand what's going on. I am not confused. I will figure this out. Because when we start to say, how can I, instead of saying that I can't, you'll be surprised at what your mind and what your body and what your outcome will produce for you. So how do you show up like a boss, right, in your online business? You do the work. You do the work consistently on yourself. You do the work consistently every day in your business. If you have a game plan, like in my 90-day challenge, I'm teaching my students how to do their videos, how to show up every day via video, whether it's Facebook Live, whether it's a regular video. Why? Why am I doing that? Why am I teaching that? Because we live in the video age. So you have to have a game plan. So if you don't have a mentor and a coach, I encourage you to get one, right? You can download my free blueprint here, my free 5 Steps to Success blueprint. It's the same blueprint that I use and I continue to use to this day. I follow this blueprint. When I first got started online, I didn't know anything. I was not techie. I had no experience with online marketing. I barely used a computer when I first got started 3 years ago. And these 5 steps, which I took, you can get it free inside of my blueprint just by clicking the link above at daniellekhalil.com. When I followed these blueprints, these 5 steps to this blueprint, that's when my business took a whole nother turn. And ever since that day, ever since that moment, my business has continued to climb for 3 years. For the past, I would say 2 years. I started 3 years online, but 2.5 years, it's been nothing but an going up every single day, every single week, every single month. So to show up like a boss, first you have to empower yourself and know that you are a boss. You know, one of the things I like to do, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you I'm going to take it off the wall, right, so that you can see it. I'm going to show you my affirmations here, right? This is something that I talk to my boot campers about, right? Telling yourself, giving yourself some positive affirmations. But it's not just enough to, empower yourself with affirmations. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. But at first you have to believe that you are these things. You're generous, you're energetic, you're extraordinary, you're successful, you're inspiring, you're confident, you're independent, you're considerate, you're incredible, you're honest, you're wonderful, you're amazing. You got to first, you got to believe those things first before you can even attempt to become successful. You got to see success in your mind first. Because when you see it in your mind first, because again, what you think about, you bring about. So when you start to see success, when you start to write down what your success looks like, what it feels like, and these are the things that I teach in my boot camp, and I will be having a webinar on Tuesday. So please get access to my blueprint, and you'll get some emails regarding my webinars that I'll be having next week. But these are the things that I teach, and I coach these things because these are the things that changed my life. These are the things that made me go from broke and depressed and crying and literally just a mess because I wanted to change my life. So I started to affirm, first of all, that I was who I wanted to be. I had to affirm those things first. And then I had to write it all down. I started writing it down. And some of you know this story. And then I started to do the work, even though I didn't know all the work. I didn't know. I was searching on YouTube. I was searching on the internet. I was searching. Seeking ye shall find, right? You got to search, guys. You just can't think that success is going to come to you. You got to search for it. You got to search for somebody who's going to take you in the right direction. You're going to have to search. So you got to put your blinders on and don't think about all these people that are telling you all these different things. You have to find somebody who resonates with you. Who understands your particular need, your particular want, your particular goals, right? Somebody that you can talk to. And that's one of the things that I pride myself on, being a coach that is approachable, and I can sit down with you and we can talk and we can chat and I can ask you your goals and give you a game plan. Every day I'm coaching people one-on-one, every single day. I'm coaching people one-on-one and I'm letting them know, their abilities. I can see certain things in certain people, and I just know that they're natural abilities. It's crazy how I can do it. I can look at somebody like today, literally. I was coaching somebody this morning, and I was like, you're very fashionable. You're very fashionable, and I see your presence. You have a certain presence about you, and you have. I said you have a certain amount of grace about you. And then come to find out, this was something I didn't even know this. She told me that, first of all, she's into jewelry, fashionable jewelry, which I just saw it. Like I knew it. She's one of my clients, my students. I had never sat down with her one-on-one yet, but just by seeing the homework that I give and how she's been uploading her homework, I'm very observant. So come to find out, she's in the jewelry business, which I kind of figured, and she's a dancer. And I saw the grace. I was like, there's something, graceful and regal about your posture. And so to find out those things, right? It wasn't an accident. I already knew that she had something going on for her. That a lot of us don't. I saw it in her. So that's what I do. When you coach with me one-on-one, I literally sit down with you and write out a game plan, right? And for those who are serious about really creating their own economy, my goal is to create 100 entrepreneurs who are bringing in at least a six-figure income per year, right? That's my goal, 100 entrepreneurs. That's what I've set for myself, and that's what I'm going to continue to set for myself until that goal is reached. And you know why that goal is probably so hard to do? Because so many people quit. So if you want to show up like a boss, guys, first you got to affirm that you are a boss. Tell yourself who you are, who you were created to be, right? First, believe it. Those I ams are so important. Believe who you are. Affirm it. Don't worry about what's going on the outside. Believe me, because if 3 years ago, if I was just focused on what was going on in my life at that time, I would have never ended up where I am today. No, I saw myself. I projected myself into the future. I believed it. I affirmed it. I wrote it down. And guess what? I claimed it. And then I started doing the work. I failed forward. A lot of times I kept failing. I didn't know exactly what it was that I needed to do. But the more I failed, the more the right people came into my life. The more I kept taking action, the more the right people came into my life. So some of you are stuck because you're not taking action. And to show up like a boss, the number one thing you have to do is you got to take action. Action, massive action. When I first started making money online, I was taking massive action like a mad woman. I still take massive action. I'm an action taker. So don't think that you can show up like a boss and, just be sitting on the couch eating potato chips and watching your favorite, nighttime soap opera and expect to get rich. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Anybody that you see that is making money online, they are working. They are working. They're connecting with people. They are, believing that they can accomplish certain goals. They're writing down their goals. They're showing up. They're doing videos. They're doing webinars. They are blogging. They are working. They are working. And a lot of you don't even understand what type of work it takes to build a business online. You just think scrolling through Facebook, and commenting on people's pictures and videos is working. It's not. Showing up on people's Facebook lives all day long, watching them create their economy. Meanwhile, you're getting sucked into what they're producing and you're not producing any results yourself. Income producing activities is what it takes to show up like a boss. All right, so first, again, start affirming who you are, guys. Start affirming. Start today, every day with affirmations. That's why I keep this on my wall. I have my own affirmations that I use, consistently when I'm in my quiet space, when I wake up in the morning. Listen, if you don't see yourself differently than what, other people see you, your family members, oh, you're so stupid, you're so dumb, why are you doing this? If you believe those words, you'll never make it in this industry. But if you start to decide, listen, I create my own economy. I create what's possible. I am a leader. I am here for divine purpose. I do have what it takes. When you start to understand that, and when you start to show up like that, everything in your world will change. Everything in your life will change. Your business will start to change. You will start to attract the right people. You will start to manifest money like you would never believe. I'm about to start another YouTube channel. It's all going to be all about the law of attraction. That's all it's going to be about. Because when I say the law of attraction, I literally, like I said, what you think about, you bring about. And so there's been so many instances in my life that I can literally go back to childhood, and these are the stories I'm going to be sharing on another YouTube channel because it's kind of deep. It's not all about just, business stuff. This stuff that, the stuff that you can't see is always at work for you. It's always at work. You can call it God, you can call it the universe, you can call it whatever it is, spirit, whatever you want to call it, right? I call it God. But it's always at work for you. And if you don't believe that, then you are missing an important element. It's the unseen. It's the unseen that literally drives you to success, if that makes sense. It probably don't. It's probably like, what you talking about, right? Unseen that drives you to success, what are you talking about? It's this stuff. It's the mental stuff. It's the inner work that you got to do. It's that inner work. Because if you don't do the inner, all that outer work stuff is in vain. It doesn't matter. It will never work for you. So I'm just telling you that. If you don't have that self-confidence, all bosses, right? I'm talking about a boss. You've got to have self-confidence. You have to have self-discipline. You have to have, a reason for being. You have to have a goal. You have to have a purpose. You have to have a mission and a vision. If you don't have those things, I encourage you to try to get clear on what it is that you are here to do. Get as clear as possible. Clarity is what helps you to achieve things. You have to have clarity. If you don't, you're not going to get what you want. All right. So again, if you've never downloaded my 5-step success blueprint, hey Raisa, I just realized how to click on these. I'm streaming from my computer again. Hey Rita, if you don't have my 5-step success blueprint, I encourage you to download it. Right, get a copy of it, read it, reread it, read it again. And really dive in and understand what it takes to become successful. Because success leaves clues. It leaves clues, but so does failure. Failure leaves clues as well. I'm sure you can think about all the times that you failed at something. And you're like, you know what? I failed because, and don't blame anybody else. Blame yourself. I failed because I failed to do this. All the time I failed in business, I failed because I failed to have a mentor. I failed to have a coach. I was trying to do things on my own. Trying to reinvent the wheel. Don't do that, right? So all the times you failed at something, it's because you did not follow the blueprint. I guarantee you. You thought you could do it better on your own. You thought you had the magic touch, which you do. We all have our own magic touch. However, you gotta first understand the principles. Then you can add your own magic touch to it. So I hope that makes sense. All right, guys, so affirm who you are, love yourself, love others, and get to work. And I guarantee you could be consistent. Pick a strategy that you can relate to, that you can do day in and day out. And guess what? You will be able to show up like a boss, You got to do it like a boss. If you don't show up like a boss, then it makes no sense to even show up. Either you're going to go 100%, or you just don't do it at all. No half-stepping. Bosses don't half-step. All right? We make things happen. We're movers and shakers. So are you a mover and a shaker? Ask yourself that. Are you a mover and a shaker? Or are you waiting around for direction every single minute? Bosses don't wait around for direction. They take action. If they get direction, great. They take an action even faster. If they don't get the direction, they're gonna seek out direction. They're gonna seek out the answers, and then they're gonna take action. All right. But the key element of all of this is what? Taking action. Taking action. So go out there, have a successful Sunday. Don't take the day off. Oh, it's Sunday, I'm gonna relax. No, let every day be a day of action. You relax when you're dead, right? They said the world's gonna end tomorrow. Yesterday. We're still here, right? We're still here. So if it was gonna end, I was gonna end in the bathtub, living life luxuriously like a boss, right? So that's what I encourage you to do. Live every day like it's your last, because you don't know when it will be. So live every day like it's your last. Go out there, make an impact in the world, and produce change. All right, friends, I love you. I'm going to take my kids to the park. We're going to have some fun, and I'll see you guys later. Take care. Don't forget to get my blueprint.